Although I have openly expressed a desire to be a history teacher since the age of 12 and have had thoughts of wanting to be a teacher even before that, I have never been a perfect student. While I always paid attention and participated in class and was intelligent enough to cram well enough to ace my tests, I seldom did daily work that wasn't finished in class, and pre-designated homework for me was almost a farce. While this is not to say that I didn't love school, I did, very much so. It is mostly a testament to the amazing teachers that I have had throughout my educational career that I have learned as much as I have, and it is they who pulled me and my procrastinating ways forward toward ever greater goals and achievements. While my elementary years contain the haziest memories of my educational background, it was the instruction I received while a young child that gave me the foundation of skills and concepts upon which the rest of my entire education rests. From my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Jones, who didn't allow me to pinch the little boys I liked, to Mrs. Ford, the fourth grade teacher that actively encouraged my developing love of history, I began to understand and enjoy learning about the world around me. It was their recognition of my natural inclinations, combined with their open approval and encouragement of these preferences, that allowed me to think it was okay to like history, learning, and school, even when those around me could have cared less. As a sixth grader and beyond, of course the field of teachers I had expanded exponentially, but my middle school years were heavily influenced by several very long-distance moves, and adjustments to new schools overran much of the rest of my experiences. The most important teacher I met in middle school was Miss Melvin, who I had just before I moved. The first major difference about the way Miss Melvin taught was that she was the first teacher I had to use well-developed lectures to teach us content. In addition, Miss Melvin was young, interesting, and was a cool teacher that I identified with as a person instead of as just a teacher. It was while reading about ziggurats for her class on my red couch one night that I realized that not only did I obviously like history enough to do the homework for once, I also really liked the way she got to talk about and help other people understand it. Besides all that, evidence like the papier-mâché King Tut in the corner of her classroom suggested that she got to do fun stuff with the subject I loved in many different ways. I wanted to do that job. It's funny now, but I knew it with such conviction that I cried and ran to tell my mother. Although I only had Miss Mervyn for a teacher for about 7 weeks, she had an especially long-lasting impact on my academic career. Miss Mervyn may have been a really cool teacher, but in the years following my decision to become a teacher while in her class, I have met many talented and amazing teachers. My high school, located in Bryan, Texas, had a student population of over 3,700 students my freshman year, and it was a daunting place to start a path in higher learning. While there, I was really lucky to not only learn the content that my teachers were focused upon, but also key life lessons and key concepts from which my own views of teaching as a practice and a job come from. It is this third aspect that garners the most attention while learning to be a teacher myself. In my actual experience as a high school student, however, I learned how to think critically, write effectively, and gained a greater understanding of my world. From Fahrenheit 451 and The Handmaid's Tale in English class with Ms. Prejean to the residual effects of World War I on European psyche in history with Mr. Slayton, these individuals helped me to shape my worldview and are owed more credit than myself in some cases for helping me to become who I am today. It's only sad that I can't find them all to let them know just how thankful I am. When I decided to go to college, in Kentucky this time, I got lucky again, with over 45 amazing TAs, professors, and instructors that gave me an education chock-filled with history, art history, psychology, and French. Advisors told me that I didn't have time for an extra minor, but I didn't care. The extra knowledge and experiences I acquired were well worth the extra time. There are 3 professors that stick out to me over the course of my undergraduate career that affected me the most. Dr. Bruce Hawley, who taught me world history and how to do original research, also taught me how essential preparedness and respect were beyond the parameters of a classroom. Dr. Jane Peters taught me art history while refining my ability to research and opened up a world of images, learning styles, and how to actually go about being that person that is prepared all the time. Dr. Kathy Kern taught me women's history and a whole new way to look at history and teaching, and history at the same time. Her digital stories, Socratic seminars, simulations, and Skype sessions with writers hundreds of miles away were not only fun, but gave me a more tangible understanding of what she wanted me to know. The efforts of these 3 teachers combined has had a phenomenal effect on my thoughts and actions in the world, and are who I credit the most with making me feel comfortable to try something as daunting as graduate school and then teaching. In the end, I have what I consider a fairly rich, albeit lengthy, educational history. While I fear that others might find this personal history a bit boring, it is the core of my existence, and I am very proud and happy with my experiences as a student. It is my sincere hope that I am able to successfully translate these experiences in the best combination possible for my own students at the same time that I continue to learn from ever more teachers both in and outside of the classroom.